Hi, this is Lorene Farr, and I'm going to tell you about the life of my son, James Farr. We always knew Jim was different. We didn't know that his behaviors were telling us he has autism. For example, Jim avoided eye contact as a baby. He doesn't like crowds and loud noises. He used to face backwards a lot and wanted to be alone. Jim was always covering his ears a lot. He would arch his back instead of cuddling as a baby. Jim would put a lot of things in his mouth. He would always squeeze into corners and between furniture and the walls. Jim really loves to line things up. Autism changes and delays development in children. Jim started creeping at 11 months old and didn't crawl until about a year old. Jim learned to sit at 11 months old. Children usually learn to sit at around 6 months old. Jim was practicing to stand while holding furniture at almost a year old. Usually kids do it at around 8 or 9 months old. At 5.5 years old, Jim learned to use a tricycle. Usually kids can do that a few years earlier. However, one of Jim's biggest problems is communication. He didn't learn to speak until 6 or 7 years old. I don't really remember when because I used to follow him around as he was babbling a lot, just waiting for his first words, which seemed like they would never come. His first words were spoken while he was on a rocking horse. Suddenly he said, "Yeehaw!" Autism is a sensory processing disorder. This means that the person is overwhelmed by their senses. Lights are too bright, colors are too intense, music is too loud, textures are too rough, and tastes and smells are too intense. Jimmy's first teacher, Barb Bump, started sensory integration with Jimmy, which is a therapeutic technique to help autistic people overcome these problems. Examples of sensory integration techniques would be rolling on medicine balls, jumping into ball pits, going down sliding boards, riding swings and rocking horses, and playing in sand and water. Also riding bicycles, riding in a car, anything having to do with motion or touch. People with autism typically engage in something called stimming. Stimming includes, but is not limited to, putting things in their mouth, spinning things like wheels and tops, spinning themselves, flapping their hands and arms, and talking or singing to themselves. Things Jimmy loves to do is anything with movement, such as riding bicycles, rocking, riding in the car. Jimmy loves to swim, especially underwater. Jimmy loves to sing and frequently sings to himself. He loves music CDs and searching YouTube for music videos. Jimmy recorded 3 songs for this video that possibly you can use. Jimmy loves to keep calendars and makes his own calendars. He loves to follow rules and craves predictability. He keeps a neat room and loves to arrange it just so. Jimmy really loves computers. His hero is the Hulk, you know, the guy that gets big and turns green. Because when he gets angry, he gets big and strong and makes a roaring noise. Jimmy imitates the roar.
11 to 1, I go Black Knights!
Hey Jimmy, what teachers would you like to thank?
Mrs. Goonover, Mrs. Marr, Mrs. Brennan, Mrs. Bishop, Mrs. Forbes, Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Zapman, Mrs. Mackenbacker, Mrs. Russell, and Mrs. Burlingame.
When people usually first meet Jimmy, they think he's unusual. Well, I say that I think they're the unusual ones for not knowing him. And in Jimmy's words, they're all ass pleats.
He's extremely talented. When I first heard his voice, I couldn't believe what I heard. He hits ranges that I couldn't even hit. It's amazing. Did you hear those 3 songs? Fantastic.
Usually when the rest of us are feeling down, Jimmy will walk out into the hallway over there, and he'll be saying something completely out of left field, and whatever we're feeling down about, whatever it was, we'll be completely distracted off of it. He's hilarious.
Jimmy's just the nicest guy you could ever want to meet. He's honest, and he's loving, and he's just very patient and calm. And he really, even though he has something called a disability, you wouldn't know it because he shines right through it. And you know he's in there. He just has trouble expressing himself. So any one of you guys, if you see him out and about, be nice to him. Thank you.
Mr. Peachy, how long have you known Jimmy?
Oh, I've known Jimmy for probably 5, 6, 7 years, probably. You know, as he's worked his way up through high school here at Towanda.
How have you interacted or gotten to know Jimmy?
Jimmy's always kind of pleasant to see in the halls. So I've seen him in the hallways. I've seen him on special occasions. Sometimes I come up for graduations. Sometimes I come up for Christmas parties. So usually when I see Jimmy, it involves eating, which is good.
We like to eat, don't we, Jimmy? Did we just have your birthday dinner?
Yeah.
What did we have?
Enchilada.
It was good.
That sounds good.
What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
I guess I'd like people to know that Jimmy's very friendly. That he's always says hello. He'll shake my hand, you know, and he always says hello and greets me as he's walking through the halls. So it's nice, and he's got a nice beard.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I just think, you know, I appreciate having Jimmy here. He's just a pleasant person to have around. I'm going to miss him when he's gone. So
Me too.
yeah,
Me too.
hopefully he comes up and visits, you know, us several times and stays in contact with us. I enjoyed the video that he did. I never knew that he could sing. You know, and I was very impressed. He has a very musical family with his brothers, and
He has perfect pitch.
yes, that's what they. When I watched that video, that I think Mrs. Berry shared that with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool watching
Nice.
him sing and with his brothers.
If you closed your eyes, you wouldn't have known it wasn't
No,
the other singer.
no, beautiful. Did a nice job.
Jimmy, would you like to say anything or talk to ask Mr. Peachy anything?
There's the handshake. You're awesome, buddy.
Hello, I am who? Mrs. Berry. And how do I know you, Jimmy? What class are you in of mine? What do I teach you?
Video.
Video editing. Okay.
All right. Mrs. Berry, how long have you known Jimmy?
I have known Jimmy for 6 or 7 years. And I met Jimmy when he was in Mrs. Bishop's class, and he used to come up with her class to learn about keyboarding. One thing I learned about Jimmy when he came to do keyboarding was he didn't need to learn how to do keyboarding because Jimmy was really good with the computer, and he could already type. So while the other kids were trying to learn how to type, Jimmy would actually go out on the computer and show me things he could find on the internet and other interesting things that he knew because Jimmy really liked the computer and worked on it by himself.
Yeah, you go everywhere on the internet, don't you? What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
I have learned from Jimmy that if you give all students a chance to get familiar and comfortable with you, that there's a lot you can learn about them and they can enjoy you as much as you can enjoy them. I've learned that there's no reason to be scared or intimidated when you first meet a new student, especially one who may not communicate like all the other kids. But Jimmy's one of the most caring students in our building, and after I gave him some time and I got more comfortable with him, Jimmy and I can talk about a lot of things. And Jimmy knows a lot of things that we don't realize he knows. And until he gets comfortable with you, he doesn't like to tell you what he knows.
That's true, isn't it? Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I would like to share that I am amazed by how you can show Jimmy how to do something 1, maybe 2 times, and he can remember that. He may not have done it for 3 or 4 weeks, but if you ask him to do it again and you give him some time, he can do it. Sometimes he does it so fast that we don't realize it's done, but he can do it. And I want to say that I really had a good time working with Jimmy, and I'm sorry to see that he's going to graduate because we're going to miss him around here.
Oh, so
Especially on the 3rd floor because we see him every morning.
who is this, Jimmy?
1958, yeah, that's my birthday.
Who is this?
What's my name? Okay.
Mr. Corral. Mr. Corral, how long have you known Jimmy?
About 8 years.
How have you interacted with or gotten to know him?
Well, I had to yell at him because he was out in the house screaming one day, and then I met him. And then I went to Mrs. Schoonover's class, and I met him there. And then we went to the mall with him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And when we went to get our hair cut together.
Yeah. Didn't you two get sunglasses at the mall? Remember? Yeah.
Sunglasses. We got sunglasses, yes.
Yes, you look pretty handsome.
Yes. You're a cool dude.
What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
Jimmy has a kind heart. And Jimmy's got a good beard. And Jimmy will do things that if you will ask him, he'll at least try to do them.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Does Jimmy graduate this year?
Yes, he does.
Just wish you good luck, Jimmy. Okay, when you graduate. Yes.
Jimmy, would you like to ask Mr. Corral anything?
When do you graduate? I think the 20th.
Whose birthday? March 28th, what year?
I don't know. How about Mr. Larkham? When's Mr. Larkham's? Do you know Victoria's?
Birthday is March 28th, 1959.
That's Mrs. Russell's, 1959.
Russell was blonde.
She was blonde.
He was blonde. Weissach School.
Yes, she was. At
Weissach.
Weissach School, right?
Weissach Elementary School.
Right.
That's where Mrs. Russell was your teacher?
He's a teacher.
She still comes to see you every day, doesn't she?
Does she?
Yeah, she drives a van and always comes in.
Aww.
Did you ever ask Victoria when her birthday was? Who you're talking to? Jimmy. Who are you talking to? Mrs. Blasey. She's a music teacher. Mrs. Blasey, how long have you known Jimmy?
I've known Jimmy for several years. Started working here 12 years ago, and it was shortly after that, actually, that I got a chance to work with him, first in Mrs. Bishop's class and then in Mrs. Schoonover's class.
Thank you. How have you interacted with or gotten to know him?
Throughout our music classes and just some of the activities that we've done a lot of dancing and singing, which Jimmy loves, right? He loves to sing.
He's an amazing singer.
Really great singer. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
His mom and brother say he has perfect pitch.
Yeah, and his memory for words and music is just, it's phenomenal. It's something that's really, I find really special. So he's always been an interesting student of mine. Very cool.
What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
He really does just have such a memory for specific things like music. I mean, he's always really excelled in my class, and he's just a really special guy, you know. He's got quite a talent for that, so I really hope that he does something with that.
That's wonderful. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
I do actually. Jimmy did a poster for our 8th grade music class last semester, and this was actually one of the examples that I have used this semester. The kids were just sort of blown away. They couldn't believe that was done by one of Mrs. Schoonover's kids. I mean, he's got quite the content here, and just the layout is really nice. Just a job well done.
Thank you. Jimmy, is there anything you'd like to ask Mrs. Blasey?
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, not a problem.
We go ahead and introduce him. Who are you talking to, Jimmy? Jimmy, who are you talking to? Who is that next to you?
Matt.
What's his name? Mr. Larkham. He's your math teacher.
I am Jimmy's math teacher.
Mr. Larkham, how long have you known Jimmy?
I have known Jimmy for 2 years now. I probably have known Jimmy for longer, but I've gotten to know him the last 2 years because I've had him in math class.
Okay. How have you interacted with or gotten to know Jimmy?
Well, for 2 years. Well, before that, I'd always know Jimmy. He'd walk around and take our attendance and always stop by and check to see if I had anything. And then last year I had him for life skills math, and this year I have him for life skills math. So we have worked together every day for the last 2 years.
Nice. What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from Jimmy?
I have learned that Jimmy makes people laugh, and Jimmy makes people smile, and Jimmy talks a lot, and Jimmy sometimes sings a lot.
He's got a good voice, doesn't he?
He does. He does. And he likes to have fun with his classmates. And we even get a little bit of math done once in a while, don't we, Jimmy? A little bit. Yeah. And Jimmy can always tell the rest of the class what's for lunch. And Jimmy can usually remember most of his classmates' birthdays. You remember my birthday?
March.
No. We're close. We haven't worked on that one yet. It's May, isn't it?
May 12th.
May 12th. There you go.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what year, then you'll know how old I am.
He's asking. Everybody's telling him the years now. He's figured mine out.
1971.
So how old does that make him?
40.
I'm going to be 43 in a couple weeks.
Jimmy, what day of the week was May 12th, 1971? Was it a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday. Were you born on a Wednesday?
I'm not even sure. I'd have to go look.
I'll bet you $100 he's right.
Okay, I'm not going to take that bet.
Okay.
Especially on camera.
I never bet against him because he is always right on those
check.
dates.
If I was born on a Wednesday, Jimmy, I'll be...
I asked him all my kids' birthdays. Just like that. It came right out. And I was...
All right, what was December 7th, 1998? What day was that? December 7th, 1998.
Pearl Harbor Day.
That is Pearl Harbor Day.
But what day of the
What
week?
day of the
Monday,
week
Tuesday, Wednesday?
Monday.
It was a Monday. That's my oldest daughter's birthday. That was a Monday.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Oh, I just have really enjoyed having Jimmy the last 2 years in class. Sometimes I call him the parrot in here because we got to get Jimmy sometimes just to take it down a notch. But we've had a lot of fun, and I hope Jimmy has a lot of success when he leaves here. We'll miss him.
We will. Jimmy, is there anything you'd like to add? Would you like to say anything to Mr. Larkham? What would you like to say? Have you enjoyed math class? Anything else you want to say? Can you thank him? Thank you very much, Mr.
You're
Larkham.
welcome. My pleasure.
Ready? Go ahead. Tell me who, shake his hand, tell me who he is. Who is that, Jimmy? What class do you have him for? Homeroom. Okay. Mr. Pearson, how long have you known Jimmy?
Just this year.
Okay. How have you interacted with or gotten to know him?
Well, I have him in homeroom, and every morning we try and do a couple song trivias or birthday trivias. Jimmy's always coming up and asking me, when's so-and-so's birthday? When's this one's birthday? When's that one's birthday? And then we have a quiz on him the next couple days after that.
I bet he knows everybody's birthday in homeroom.
Yeah, yep, I think so.
What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
He's awesome with people's birthdays. That's unbelievable to me because I can't remember anybody's birthdays and things like that. It's just remarkable. It's remarkable.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add?
It brightens my day when Jimmy gives me a handshake and says, have a good day, and goes to class.
Most of the teachers comment on that.
Yeah. Always a handshake, have a good day, see you tomorrow. You know, it brightens your day. Not a lot of kids do that.
No. Jimmy, is there anything you'd like to ask Mr. Pearson? We say thank you?
Thank you. You're welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Street. Yeah.
Okay, you want to introduce Mr. Russo?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Who are you talking to?
Mrs. Russo.
Okay. Mr. Russo, how long have you known Jimmy?
I've known Jimmy more personally this year because we have a class together, Transitional English, which he comes in about 3 days a week or so. But I've known Jimmy peripherally over, I don't know, I would say the past 4 years or so. And Jimmy, if you remember, you used to have homeroom right across the hall from me. And I remember with Mrs. Brown. Do you remember Mrs. Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember you in there, and I also remember that you used to like spending time, you know, organizing her room, putting all the chairs away where they belong. And also I remember on some days when you were inspired to, you would do some writing on her whiteboard. So these are my experiences with Jimmy.
Good. Then that's how you've answered, how you've interacted with him. What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from Jimmy?
Well, I'd like people to know about Jimmy that I believe Jimmy to be a very aware person, and that people should know that he is definitely listening and paying attention to what's going on around him. Mm-hmm. And what I'd like people to learn, I guess, you know, what I've learned through Jimmy is that, you know, some people, you need a little time to get to know them. And it's just like anybody else, you know, the more you spend time with them, the more you learn about them. And that's what I found, you know, my experiences to be with Jimmy.
Great. Any other comments you'd like to make?
No, other that he's just been a pleasure to have, to know, and to have, you know, as a student as well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Jimmy, who are we talking to? And is she what does she teach?
Art.
Okay, you like art class? Yeah. Mrs. Strickland, how long have you known Jimmy?
I think I've known Jimmy for more than 8 or 9 years now. Yep.
Okay. How have you interacted with or gotten to know Jimmy?
I've had Jimmy in art class. I see him in the hallways. He comes into the office when I'm up there. So I see Jimmy probably 2 or 3 times a day.
What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
I have learned that Jimmy is autistic and he has a photographic memory. And one of the things I always quiz Jimmy on is, when is my birthday?
Oh, it's 1977.
Yep.
What day of the week was she born on? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Friday.
Friday.
And I just think that's amazing that he can figure that out in his head.
Yeah.
everybody's birthdays.
Yes, and he's never wrong.
Right. Yes.
And he will go into the future and tell me what day of the week a certain date's going to fall on.
I
and
forgot about that.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Can I tell a funny story?
Yes, you can, please.
One day when I had Jimmy's class in my art room for art class, I was letting them draw on the Promethean board, and I had a couple senior girls in there, and without being prompted, he started writing their names and the location where he had met them outside of school, which I thought was really, really cool.
Wow,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yep.
Jimmy, is there anything you'd like to ask Mrs. Strickland? What do you want to say?
Was it good?
Good job. Did she do a good job?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jimmy, who are you interviewing today? How long have you known Jimmy?
I've known Jimmy almost 5 years.
How have you interacted with or gotten to know Jimmy?
First, I subbed in his classroom. That's when I first met him. And for the past 4 years, we've been together almost every day, right? That there's been school? Yeah.
What would you like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned from him?
Jimmy is the most gentle soul I have ever met. He is the kindest person. He probably is one of the smartest people I have ever met. He's very funny. We have a lot of fun. We've done a lot together. He's taught me much more than I have ever taught him, I think. You've taken me all over the world on Google Earth, haven't you? You've taken me a lot of places. We've had a lot of fun. We've laughed. We sing. I don't sing very good, do I? He's extremely funny. I miss him terribly when he's not in school. Jimmy is very aware of everything that is going on. I know he watches the news. He just sometimes takes a while to get it out, but he has taught me patience and just slow down, take my time, and it will come out. There is so much inside there, and it's wonderful the things that he knows. And I never have to question and answer because it's always right. It's just, he's touched me in ways that I never can begin to imagine. He's brought so much into my life, and I've enjoyed every second I've spent with him.
Would you like to add anything else?
There's so much inside there. This guy, there's so much he is capable of doing, and we are working hard. I would not be surprised to see him accomplish something very tremendous in the future. He is capable of doing so much. And Jimmy, I can't imagine my life without you now, because you've really earned a big place in my heart. I enjoy every day I spend with him. And I know you're going to do great things because you are a genius. And you have a loving, supporting family, and you have a classroom full of people that think the world of you. Am I embarrassing you?
They're incorporated.
I will miss him terribly when he goes. Thanks for being a part of my life, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
You want to introduce her, Jimmy?
Introduce her. And who am I?
This is Noah.
And what do I do with you, Jim?
I
classroom teacher. I'm your classroom teacher. Good. Can I ask the first question? How long have you known Jimmy?
How long have I known you? I've known you for 8 years. I've known you since you've been in Mrs. Bishop's class, and you've been in my class for 5 years. So we've known each other quite a while, haven't we? You know what the next question is?
How have you interested with
Louder.
or gotten to know Jimmy?
And that'll be you, right?
Yep.
Well, Jimmy's been in my classroom for 5 years. And we interact every day, right? Want to go to question number 3?
What you know, like people to know about Jimmy, or what have you learned for him?
What do I want people to know about you? Jimmy's the kindest, most gentle soul I've ever met in my entire life. I don't think I've ever seen Jimmy get angry with people. He always does sweet things for his classmates. I like it when you put in Heather's barrettes and give her a kiss on the top of the head. You always do chores. You always take all the cafeteria trays down for all of the kids. You like to visit with all the teachers. You're just a very nice young man.
What's the next question?
Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Well, Jimmy, there's so many cool things about Jimmy. Not only is the sweetest, kindest young man I've ever met, but Jimmy also has some pretty cool abilities. Jimmy, when Jimmy first came to the class, Jimmy would make calendars and he would write Saturdays. Remember, Jimmy? Saturdays 2031. And it took us a while to figure out what Jimmy was doing, but when we went and checked, the days that Jimmy marked down were the dates of the Saturday in 2031. And off the top of his head, Jimmy can tell you what day your birthday will fall in 2075, or he can tell you what day any holiday is going to fall on in any given year, and he just figures it out very quickly in his mind. So what we've come to find with Jimmy when working with him, and also talking with Ms. Ralston from the Blast IU, is that Jimmy has many savant abilities. One of the things that he is he's a calendar counter. He can figure out any day just purely in his head. It doesn't look like he's calculating. It seems like the information's just there. Some of the other things that Jimmy has really outstanding abilities are mapping. Jimmy can draw, if he's been a place or seen a map of a place, he can tell you how to get there, and he can draw really good maps. In fact, Jimmy's drawn maps of the school. He can tell you each room, each teacher who's in every room, where they are, where they're located, and usually their birthday. Jimmy's also has a really good mind for music. He knows the lyrics to, gosh, how many songs do you know the lyrics to? A lot. Any song he's ever heard, he remembers the lyrics to. Jimmy has perfect pitch. He's a really good performer when he sings. So he's a calendar counter, a mapper, and he has perfect pitch and has very good musical skills. And when the lady from the IU came over and worked with Jimmy, she also felt that Jimmy had some very special talents.
Is there any questions you'd like to ask Miss Schoonover? Do you have any final things you'd like to say to Jimmy?
What's your birthday?
When is my birthday?
November 1955.
You had to put the year in, right? Yep, that's my birthday. When's your birthday?
It was 1993.
What do you think is the coolest thing about Jimmy Farr? Not my coolest thing about Jimmy Farr. What do you think's the coolest thing about you? You do calendars. What do you think is one of your best qualities?
33.
So you're good with dates.
When's my birthday going to be in 2033? What day of the week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Saturday, April 16, 2033.
What day will July 18th be in 2033? July 18th. 2013. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Monday.
Monday. I believe you.
And Jimmy, it usually takes us longer to check to see if Jimmy's right than it takes Jimmy to calculate when these dates are going to fall on. Also, the other thing that I have to tell you about Jimmy is Jimmy's my favorite song pop partner.
Yes.
Because Jimmy gets all the songs
40
right.
years old.
Who's that?
40. 41.
Jimmy, just before we end the interview, I want you to tell us what you think is the best thing about you. You're a good kid. What else do you think that you do good? What do you think you're good at?
I'm a good boy.
You are a good boy. What else, though?
Good man.
You're a good man. What do you want to do when you graduate, Jimmy?
2014.
What do you want to do when you graduate?
In Penn York.
You want to go to Penn York? What about going to school? Is that something you think about? Do something with music or computers? Because you're really good with music and computers. Right now, you're thinking of Penn York until you decide? What kind of job do you want to get?
Penn York.
You want to work at Penn York. Do you like to do music with your brothers? You're listening to Jeffrey right now. Anything else you want us to know about you?
Yep.
What? What? Why are you so happy right now?
Best transition.
Best transition.
Best transition.
Ow.
Me, who you talking to? Good.
How are you today? Hi, Jimmy.
Who is that, Mrs. Smith? All right. These people have been with Jimmy for a while. Who would like to say something about Jimmy?
I'd like to say something about Jimmy. I think Jimmy is one of the nicest young men I've ever met. And I think he's one of those people that everybody wishes they had a son like Jimmy. He's kind, he's got integrity, he's very honest, and he is really nice to all his peers. I'm really glad to meet you, Jimmy.
You say thank you.
You're welcome.
Jimmy, I'd like to tell you some of my best memories have been spent with you. Remember when I worked in here with the 3 boys? You were so funny. Yep, you always, remember you'd get the video, nobody knew you was video in the iPad, you'd be panning everybody and listening. And then the birthdays, you could tell me what's my birthday? You're right.
What year?
What year? 1965. I know, I don't know if we ever talked about that. I know you. Oh,
How old is she then, Jimmy?
How old am I?
She was born in 1965.
49.
Close. Yeah, Jimmy, I'm glad you're going to graduate this year. 48. 48. Yep, you've grown into be a nice young man.
I met Jimmy last year when I started working in this class. The first thing that struck me was how he was kind to everybody. He never had a mean word to say about anybody. And the other thing that struck me was how smart he is. Whenever I needed to know where something was located in the school, or what was for lunch, or how many more days left before the end of the school year, all you had to do was ask Jimmy, and he always knew the answer.
One of the funniest things is we'd be trying to figure out some kind of technology thing. We'd be like, Jimmy, come here and figure this out. And he'd come over like you guys are real idiots. And figure it out. Like, why didn't we just think to ask him first?
Hey, Jimmy, what's for lunch today?
What are we having?
Mozzarella sticks.
Mm. Do you want to ask the ladies anything? Do you want to talk about a fun memory we had together?
What did we do together, Jim? We went up to a picnic, didn't we? We were on a picnic together. We had a ball we played with. Yeah, we had a good time.
Where'd we go?
No, Pisgah.
Yep. Is this your bulletin board behind you?
Let's look at it.
Can you show people your bulletin board?
Yeah.
Who's that guy up here?
It's a PT.
He's funny looking. Oh, your friends? What are you doing here? There's their friend. Remember when you went to the prom with Heather? I remember that.
Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. Jimmy, you're graduating. Congratulations. You made it through school.
Congratulations, Jimmy. Everybody's going to miss you.
Autism helps protect us from hearing and seeing too much. Please don't hate our shield. The Autism Shield protects us when the world's bombardment becomes too much to bear.
Please don't expect to make eye contact. We may be able to force eye contact, but it is not comfortable for us. Making eye contact may take away from listening and understanding what you are saying.
Please always keep in mind that communication difficulties are common with autism. We have difficulties in reading social cues and body language. Be patient and understanding. Rudeness is not our intent. We are often frank, but the autistic person in a matter-of-fact but helpful way that his choice of words or actions was not appropriate.
Please do not touch us without warning. It will make us jump. We don't like unexpected touches.
Try not to stare sometimes when you do unusual things. Many people with autism are very aware of their self-regulating behaviors and prefer that you ignore them as you would if your friend were twirling your hair.
We hear you when you complain about us, find other times to talk mean. People have made the terrible mistake of believing that people with autism who don't have terrible speech are incapable of understanding other spoken words. Presumed competence.
Please keep in mind that we most likely have been rejected, excluded, ridiculed, or bullied in the past. If we seem anxious or insecure, this may be due to living in a world that misunderstands us and is often hostile to us. Please work at reaching out to us with understanding and kindness. Please be reassuring and clearly express your support for us. If we misunderstand what you say, please be patient and explain what you meant. Don't assume a negative or hostile intent from us. Remember that communication can be difficult for us. Things that come naturally to you can take extra effort by us. Please don't get offended by our communication styles. We don't intend to be rude. Please don't get defensive or assume that we are attacking you.
Real friends don't judge our actions. Please find us inside bodies that work differently. See us as real. We are not shells with no inhabitants.
Please don't speak down to us. Treat us as equals. We may sound flat or have an unusual tone to our voice. We may not speak with our voice at all. We may need to type our words. Please be patient with us. It may take us a while to formulate an answer. Please don't assume we lack empathy or emotion. We know when people look down on us or are hostile to us. We will shut down if you show us a lack of respect.
Raising hope to give us better futures. We need to aim high. Don't look at autism as a terrible disorder with low ceiling of promises. See it as a marvelous opportunity to look at the world through different lenses and walk through different shoes.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank some very special people for making this video possible. First, I want to thank Miss Cherie Schoonover for her unwavering support. When she told me I would be taking video editing with Jimmy, I was terrified. She knew Jimmy would be fine, but she was not so sure about me. She encouraged me every step of the way by offering suggestions and encouragement. She was always there for me when I came back from class, practically in tears, saying I didn't have a clue what was going on. She gave me a huge smile when I came back all excited about something I had learned. I will be forever grateful that she pushed me and believed in me. Thank you, Cherie. Next, I have to thank Mrs. Berry. She was extremely patient with me. She only had to show Jimmy something once or twice and he got it. Me, on the other hand, well, we won't count the number of times I asked her the same question over again. Her ideas and enthusiasm for this project made me all the more determined to do my best. She has truly become a very good friend. I cannot thank you enough, Maggie. I have to thank the students in the class who were so very accepting of Jimmy and myself. They treated us with the utmost respect. A special thank you to Victoria, who greeted Jimmy every day and was always willing to help us out. Finally, I want to thank Jimmy for being Jimmy. I know how good he is around computers, and he knows how bad I am. There were days when I asked him to help me, and he would laugh at me and watch me struggle trying to figure things out. Other days when I asked him to do things, he would go right at it and it would be done before I knew it. I talked with Mrs. Berry shortly after the first of the year with the idea of incorporating all the various projects into one video. We agreed this would be a wonderful idea. We have included a biography about Jimmy, interviews, and public service announcements into one video. I hope you like the finished project. I originally did not intend to make this about autism, but then I realized that is a huge part of who Jimmy is, and it is a wonderful opportunity to educate people about autism awareness. I have become obsessed in finding out as much as I can about autism. When we started this project, the statistics showed autism present in 1 in every 88 births. A few months later, the percentage was changed to 1 in every 66 births. The more I read, the more I believe everyone falls somewhere on the spectrum. The best description I found about autism is to imagine yourself being dropped in a foreign country where you don't know the language. You know how to communicate, but you cannot make anyone understand what you are saying. Just a personal observation, but maybe instead of learning Spanish or Chinese or some other language, we should strive to learn the only true universal language, sign language. We sometimes get so stressed by the world in which we live. Autistic people are so finely attuned to everything that is going on in the world. We need to learn from them to slow down and breathe. Patience and education are the key to working together. This world would be so boring without learning from the minds of many great autistic people. Think of many of the world's greatest painters, musicians, scientists, mathematicians. Many of our greatest inventions and masterpieces came from the minds of autistic individuals. To name a few: Bill Gates, Albert Einstein, Dan Aykroyd, Amadeus Mozart, Sir Isaac Newton, Thomas Jefferson, Michelangelo, Andy Warhol, Angie Dickerson, Woody Allen, Abraham Lincoln, Robin Williams, Sylvester Stallone, Daryl Hannah, John Lennon, Temple Grandin, Woody Goldberg, Jenny McCarthy, 50 Cent, and Jimmy Farr. This video is a tribute to you, Jimmy, and the truly amazing person you are. Hopefully we have raised awareness to this wonderful, amazing world of autism. Please take the time to learn about autism. You will be amazed at the truly brilliant minds you will meet. Slow down, relax, breathe, and let yourself learn to communicate with an autistic person. They will teach you far more than you can ever imagine. Thank you.
Autism is a neurological disorder. Autism is a developmental delay which affects speech, social, and general interaction with anyone. Just because you know one child with autism, it means that you only know one child with autism.
When the children cry, let them know we tried. 'Cause when the children sing, then the new world begins.
When my first son was born, I was the proudest man alive. Everywhere that I went, I took my son by my side. We had plans of playing baseball and football in the park, till one day we had a checkup and they ripped out my heart. Only 2 years old, now they saying he's autistic. I wanna go crazy and straight go ballistic, but had to keep it cool and stay strong for the family. Not knowing if I'll ever get to hear him call me daddy, but looking in your eyes, I can tell that you love me. You'll always be my best friend, my number one buddy. Your daddy's right here and I ain't going nowhere, and I'ma stand by your side when other people wanna stare. Every day's a different struggle, but we gotta stay strong. Me and mommy got your back and we won't ever do you wrong. We was blessed to fall in the hands of teachers that love you, and I know one day that they gon' make something of you. I love you.
When the children cry, let them know we tried. 'Cause when the children sing, then the new world begins.
It's a letter to my son and all the children in the world. Y'all ain't different, y'all just angels that sent from the Lord. 1 in every 150 children born with autism, but still we get no help from government or politicians. They too busy starting wars instead of trying to help our kids. We the ones that's left suffering, trying to pay all these bills. All the fussing, all the fighting, all the struggling, all the biting. I wouldn't change it for a thing, 'cause you my rain and you my lightning, man. You lighten up my darkest days, son. You are my soulmate. I wouldn't change it for a thing, 'cause you the one that God made. I know your little brother wonders why you never talk to him. I sit him down and tell him it's 'cause your brother has autism. But one day you and daddy, we gon' teach him how to speak. Then sit back and laugh and watch it all that he's achieved. 1 million children around the world being born with autism. You can vaccinate your child, but it's strictly your decision.
When the children cry, let them know we tried. 'Cause when the children sing, then the new world begins.
Immunization filled with mercury is tearing apart families. They putting us in poverty, spend every penny on therapy. No insurance, no schooling, the public schools are ruined. No special education, it's a fight and we are losing. Ain't no help for the poor, we stay praying to the Lord that He watches over our babies and He helps to find a cure. There's too many families suffering, affected by the struggling. The strongest holding on, but in our hearts and souls we crumbling. Just look into my baby's eyes, you know that daddy hears your cries. I wish that I could help you so that you could see what life is like. But daddy knows that you okay and you gon' be alright one day. And I'ma help you every step, so every day we gotta pray. Trey, you're my everything, I love you baby, you're my king. My world revolves around you, so I'm happy to do anything. But life goes on, like the rolling of the stone. Too many children being affected, so I had to write this song. Daddy loves you, son.
When the children cry, let them know